I recently got a job, as some of you may know if you've seen my other video. Now, this has represented a major transition for me. I've been freelance for 25 years, so this represented a major change. Now, I've taken significant cuts in lots of ways in exchange for the stability that this job offers. But that stability that I've gained isn't to be underestimated. And I've also gained colleagues and a workplace. When you're freelancing, you spend a lot of time on your own. Now, that's not good for us as humans. It's also limiting to our creativity. If you're being creative, whether you're a writer or an artist, a musician or a videographer, let's say, you need inputs. Our creativity comes from 1,000 different sources. And sitting in a room on your own isn't good for that. There's no food for the imagination. No conversations or relationships or insights into other people's lives. It's the things we experience on a day-to-day basis that fertilise the mind. Now, even though I've been there less than 6 months, I've gained so much. Insight, for example, into how it's not easy for everyone to write morning pages. See, I can't write them the days I go into the office. It's over an hour's drive away, so I get up at 5:30 and I'm on the road for 6:30, so I can get to the office for 7:45 if the traffic's okay. So on those days, I can't write morning pages. But I've adapted. The job's hybrid, so what I do now is I write them on the days I work from home, because I've got extra time. And I also write them at weekends, which I never used to do. And now, I also use these pages as a valuable tool for the work I do in my job. I still write personal stuff, ideas and aspirations and where I'd like to see myself going, but these pages are also a great source of work-related thoughts and ideas. For example, we're putting together a little video studio, so I might have ideas for that. Could we use a second camera angle? How could we dampen the sound more without spending too much, if anything? How could we make the room feel more relaxing and appealing for guests? Or I might just write words of self-encouragement, and they often have the greatest value. But I've also noticed that I'm a lot more relaxed about my morning pages now. I used to be quite strict with myself. I'd want to write them as soon as I woke up or very shortly afterwards, because if I didn't do that, I worried I might lose the rawness, the edge the unconscious mind has just after sleep. But now what I do is I go downstairs, I sort the dog out, give him some food and fresh water, and I make myself a coffee. And this only takes a few minutes. And the coffee doesn't kick in for 20 minutes anyway, so it doesn't interfere with the randomness of my thought. I just sip at it while I'm writing. And I don't feel that this change has had a particularly negative impact. In fact, I'd say it could even be positive. Because I'm more relaxed, I think what I write is different. There was a time I'd feel stressed if I didn't write these pages. Now I know that it's not a big deal if I miss a day or two. And as Oliver Burkeman said, if we do this kind of thing on a daily-ish basis, that's okay. I still feel these pages have value, but I don't feel tied to them anymore. Tied to them? That's an interesting phrase that's just emerged. Why would I say I felt tied to them? What I think the point is, it's a cliche, but it's true. This is a new chapter for me. The transition from freelance to employee status was very tough at first, but I can see the potential this job offers for applying my creativity in new and exciting ways. It's a new challenge. And all this comes back to that old adage about stepping out of the comfort zone. Because that's what I did. And that's what we all have to do if we're going to grow.